Speaker, the European Union, the US House of Representatives, the UK House of Commons, Hillary Clinton, John Kerry, and others have shown moral clarity by standing up and clearly stating what is obvious. ISIS crimes against religious minorities, women and children, gays and lesbians are genocide. Meanwhile, this Liberal government tries to hide behind weasel words and says it may constitute a genocide. It's totally shameful. If all our allies can find the moral resolve, why can't our Prime Minister?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as you know, Canada strongly condemns the atrocities committed by ISIL in the Middle East, and we stand with our allies in the fight against ISIL to make sure that they lose the capacity to take so many civilian lives. The fact is we have formally requested of the United Nations Security Council to make a determination on this. We don't feel that politicians should be weighing in on this first and foremost. Determinations of genocide need to be made in an objective, responsible way. That's exactly what we have formally requested the international authorities weigh in on.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, Mr. Speaker, this is a low point for the Liberal Party, and it's a dark spot on Canada's record as a defender of human rights. Liberal MPs actually said calling the crimes committed by ISIS a genocide would be a rush to judgment. Other Liberals said it doesn't matter because genocide is just a word. Well, Mr. Speaker, it's more than a word for the thousands of Yazidi girls being murdered and enslaved by ISIS. Will this Liberal government do the right thing and support this motion to declare ISIS crimes a genocide, yes or no?
Prime Minister.
As we have said, Mr. Speaker, we feel that determinations of genocide need to be done by objective measures and through proper research on the international stage. We will not trivialize the importance of the word genocide by not respecting formal engagements around that word. That's what has been done in the past. That needs to be done in the future. But I will take no lessons on playing politics from a government, from a former government that used footage of ISIL executions in an attack ad against me.
That's right. Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, this isn't actually about him. That's right.
Mr. Speaker, how many people will have to be assassinated by ISIS before the Prime Minister recognizes that it is genocide? Canada has always defended human rights, but with this Prime Minister, we are now one of the only countries who have not declared this a genocide. It is shameful. Mr. Speaker, how far will ISIS have to go before they qualify its murderous actions as genocide? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, on the contrary, it's because we understand how important it is to respect and to allow all the legal and international weight on the word genocide that we're calling on the international community to make an objective determination. We do not want to play petty politics with these atrocities. That's exactly what we don't want, and Canadians expect this government to act appropriately. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
As young as 9 years old are being used as sex slaves by ISIS. On International Women's Day, I asked the Prime Minister if he would step up and ensure that these Yazidi girls get placed in Canada's joint sponsorship program, and he had no answer. Germany has now taken in 1,000 of these girls and given them safe haven. So I'm asking again for the third time, will the Prime Minister step up and follow Germany's lead and help these girls?
Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, under our government, we have worked very hard to reopen Canada to the world. The cuts to immigration that happened over the past 10 years, the cuts to refugee programs were disgraceful, and that's one of the reasons why Canadians asked for this government to restore Canada's place in the world as an open, welcoming country. That is exactly what we did with 25,000 Syrian refugees, and it's what I've asked our Minister of Immigration to work on in all similar situations.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Speaker, the Prime Minister still, after 3 questions, doesn't even understand this issue. These girls are not refugees. They are not considered refugees. They're languishing in camps as displaced people. But we have a special program that he has power to use to bring these girls to Canada. So I ask him again, when is he going to take action and help these girls?
Honourable Prime Minister.
Again,
Order.
Speaker, the previous government did a lot to diminish our capacity to welcome in people from around the world. And the fact is that we are working very hard.
I appreciate the efforts of the Conservative whip to get his colleagues to quiet down. Most members in all parties are able to hear things they don't like without reacting, and I encourage members to all do that so I don't have to mention their riding names. The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The fact of the matter is we're working very hard to restore Canada's place in the world as a country that welcomes in vulnerable peoples. That's what we were able to demonstrate when Canadians stepped up in an extraordinary way for 25,000 Syrian refugees. That's exactly what our Minister of Immigration is working very, very hard on to restore after all the cuts the previous government made to immigration.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.